Then I headed back for home. Somewhere far away, a lonely bell was ringing, and it echoed through the canyon like a disappearing dream of yesterday. On a Sunday morning sidewalk, wishing, Lord, that I was stoned, 'cause there's something in a Sunday makes your body feel alone. And there's nothing short of dying, oh, half as lonesome as the sound of a sleeping city sidewalk. Sunday morning coming down. I'd like to live out all our dreams, and if I could, yes, if I could, the nicest one would be with you, and you'd be here with me. Don't you ever get lonely.
Lord, I'm no good when you're away. What can they expect from a girl who loved you like I've loved you? Won't you ever just get tired? Come on home.
Don't you ever get lonely. You're a part of me that I can't do without. You're a part of me that dreams are all about. But you can't hold on to something that you've never had before. Love waits for the wind to bring you back again. Take me away.
Friends say it's great now you're a star. What can they expect from a girl who loved you just the way you were?
Oh, and late at night, how I wish things had never changed and you were here with me. Don't you ever get lonely. You're a part of me that I can't do without. You're a part of me that dreams are all about. But you can't hold on to something that you've never had before. Love waits for the wind to bring you back again. Take me away. Take me away.
Take me away.
Take me away. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Bob Wooten and the Tennessee Three. Woo! folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep a-moving, and that's what tortures me. Well, if they freed me from this prison, if that railroad train was mine, bet I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
Your sister's still on the phone. I bet mama's in the kitchen cooking fried chicken, wishing that I hadn't done wrong.
Oh, but don't you worry about it none, though, Mama. Everything's gonna be all right, Mama. They're teaching us a lot of new things in here. Things like, there ain't no good in an evil-hearted woman, and I ain't cut out to be no Jesse James. And he don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good change in him.
Yesterday's mail, wishing that the hay was all baled. I bet he's wishing we could go fishing. Here I am laying in jail.
Oh, but Papa, don't you worry about it now. Everything's gonna be all right. They're teaching us a lesson a day, and we're learning pretty well, too. We already learned a whole lot of stuff already. Stuff like, there ain't no good in an evil-hearted woman, and I ain't cut out to be no Jesse James. And you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good chain gang. There ain't no good in an evil-hearted woman, and I ain't cut out to be no Jesse James. And you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good chain gang. And you don't go writing hot checks down in Mississippi, and there ain't no good chain gang. When I was 3, didn't leave very much for my mom and me, just this old guitar and an empty bottle of booze. Now, I don't blame him because he run and hid, but the meanest thing that my daddy ever did was before he left, he went and named me Sue. Well, he must have thought that it was quite a joke, and it got a lot of laughs from lots of folks. Seems I had to fight my whole life through. Some gal would giggle and I'd turn red, and some guy'd laugh and I'd bust his head. I'll tell you, life ain't easy for a boy named Sue. Well, I grew up quick and I grew up mean. My fists got hard, my wits got keen. Roamed from town to town to hide my shame. But I made me a vow to the moon and stars I'd search the honky-tonks and bars and kill that man that give me that awful name. Well, it was Gatlinburg in mid-July, and I just hit town and my throat was dry. Thought I'd stop and have myself a brew at an old saloon on a street of mud, and there at a table dealing stud sits a dirty mangy dog that named me Sue. Well, I knew that snake was my own sweet dad from a worn-out picture that my mother'd had. I knew that scar on his cheek and his evil eye. He was big and bent and gray and old, and I looked at him and my blood ran cold, and I said, "My name is Sue. How do you do?" right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. Then I busted a chair right across his teeth, and we crashed through the walls and into the street, kicking and gouging in the mud and the blood and the beer. Well, I'll tell you, I fought tougher men, but I really can't remember when. He kicked like a mule and he bit like a crocodile. I heard him laughing and I heard him cuss, and he went for his gun, but I pulled mine first. He stood there looking at me and I saw him smile. And he said, son, this world is rough, and if a man's gonna make it, he's gotta be tough. And I knew I wouldn't be there to help you along. So I give you that name and I said goodbye, and I knew you'd have to get tough or die. It's that name that helped to make you strong. Said now you just fought one heck of a fight, and I know you hate me and you got the right to kill me now, and I wouldn't blame you if you do. But you ought to thank me before I die for the gravel in your gut and the spit in your eye, 'cause I'm the named you Sue. What could I do? What could I do? Well, I got all choked up and I threw down my gun. I called him a pa and he called me a son. Come away with a different point of view. And I think about it now and then, every time I try and every time I win. And if I ever have a boy, well, I had a boy and I named him John Carter, and he looks a lot like his mama, but he's crazy about his daddy.